Okay, all right. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the Aegis. I'm gonna keep this like short and sweet. I'm just gonna get down to the basics and just kind of show you where I grab my items daily to go towards the Aegis. So I'm gonna make this really short and sweet. Not gonna take much time on this. Okay, so you have two elements for the Aegis. You got the blaze set, which gives you the heat combo, which is for increasing your skill damage. So if you go with the blaze set, you're trying to get increased damage from your skills when you're using your Aegis. That's what the blaze set can give you. If you see it there, I was fortunate enough to get a full set of red for my blaze. So there it is. The potential to do more damage when using my skills in the Aegis is what I'm shooting for here with the blaze set. So you can see the numbers there. So that's one. And then when you go with the so on the frost set, so the frost set has a perk called the icy shock. So the icy shock, when you activate your Aegis, it has an AoE area that it does damage in. And so that is kind of the premise of the icy shock. When you max it out, it has the it's supposed to be able to do another shock when it goes away, when you lose it, as when somebody knocks you out of it. So that's the whole thing with that ice set. You want to, when you first use it, you have an AoE area that does damage. It's supposed to CC them, but I didn't really see the CC myself, so I just didn't. It wasn't too beneficial to me early on, so now I just went with the blaze set. But to increase that damage of when you activate the Aegis, that would be based off your destruction stat. So if you wanted to get more, if someone is going with that icy shock stat there, that perk, you want to increase your destruction stat to get more damage out of that if you're going with that set. But that's just that. Okay. With the thing to remember here with the gear on the Aegis is the bottom. So the bottom 5 stats will be different on each Aegis. The bottom 5 there. So what I've seen here, if you're going for all somewhat offensive, I mean, of course you got the weapon which has offensive stats on it, but then also the shoulder here has the shoulder here also has some offensive stats. So if you're going for offensive stats, you would kind of want to make the weapon and the shoulder, if you're kind of shooting for like if you want to get like a crit rate or crit damage, something to that effect. You're kind of shooting for offensive stats. You want to make more weapons in the shoulder there. These two, the leg, they, let's say, have defensive stats here at the bottom. If you're going for, if you need, shooting for that, you have defensive stats there. And then on the core as well, defensive stats. So that's pretty much the breakdown as far as the gear. If you're trying to shoot for more offensive stats, you want to make the weapon and the shoulder. If you're shooting for more defensive stats, then you want to make the leg and the core as far as gear. So that's pretty easy there. That's on that part. All right, so now going over to the Aegis here, the most important thing you can do early on is increase your sync rate on this Aegis. You want to increase that sync rate fast as you can, because with that, there's some stats here, some perks that are hidden behind their percentage. They're locked behind a percentage. You have to get it up to a certain percentage to access these stats. Like for the endurance here, which I think is the most important, you got to get the 110 for that. For these two, high power and endurance, they unlock at 110. To get the get like the next component, like there's an extra slot that you get for the weapon. That was at 110, I believe, as well for the weapon. For the next one is, what does it say, shield. So when I get to 120, go back here for a second. 120. It should be, is this one, I believe? Might be this one. So when you get to 120, it's going to unlock this 5th slot there. Aegis components unlocks. Yeah, so I have to get the 120, I believe, to unlock. I believe it's going to be that one at 120. But that's one part of it. So the thing here that I feel that's most important when you're looking at the super sync, a lot of these look very appealing. That's fine. But from my personal experience, what I feel is the most important is endurance, because when you put your Aegis on and you have your shield, the endurance will reduce the amount of damage that shield, it will mitigate some of that damage that the shield takes. So this is pretty much damage reduction for your Aegis, and you want that damage reduction, so it can take more hits, you can stay in it longer. You want to maximize this as best you can. And that would be my preference, my I would say my piece of advice to you. Increase that endurance much as you can. Don't worry about the other stuff. You want that Aegis to be able to take as much damage as as you can get it to absorb. Now, in my opinion, my personal opinion, once you get your endurance up as high as you can, the second stat that I would say to take a look at would be the light shield, which is and the reason I say that, because light shield will help increase the shield, which is the lifeline of your Aegis. So if you can, if you have any points left over after you've maxed out your endurance as high as you can get it, I would say take a look at light shield, because right now my so when you're looking at the overview, the top part here is for the Aegis, the bottom part here are the stats that go to my character. And so these are the stats I'm getting from this that go directly to my character. All right, now on the Aegis part here, because my Aegis shield is at 157k. It was probably like 152, 154 before I put a couple points in there. It's overall this is a good investment, because that's the lifeline of your Aegis. That 157, once that's gone, your Aegis is gone. So I would say after you put all you can in endurance, maybe take a look at light shield. That would be my personal recommendation. That's what I would say. Okay. All right, so now going down to the cards. These cards, the cards are just completely luck of the draw. I mean, you open boxes, when you can, different events, different things of that nature. It's luck of the draw. The most important cards that you're gonna get over time is gonna be the core component cards here, because these have additional card traits that apply directly to your Aegis. So here, more defense. I'm getting some increased defense on that one. Once again, I'm getting debuff resistance, so more defense on that one. So I haven't been lucky enough to get any red ones yet. That's another one that's just defense on it. But they have some different, card traits that are unique that you only can get on that core component. On the other three pieces here below, these just are straight stats. Normally you have, like, I would say, you could go with 2 offensive, 2 defensive, or it's a little variance. You're only gonna get attack, Aegis attack, HP, and Aegis shield are the main 4 that you're gonna see. So me, I'm going with attack on those. All right, so with the cards here, it's just completely luck of the draw. You get the cards, you gotta enhance it. Once every three enhances, you get an additional stat, or it unlock a bonus stat. So you only have a max of 4 bonus stats you can have on the cards. So if you're when you're looking at your cards initially, you want to look at if you have any that have, normally most of them have 2, but if you have any that have like 3 or 4 on there, or anything like that, see 3 here, then you would pretty much want to go with that, because once you start increasing that card, that's more points that's going to go towards the stats. If you can start with a card that has 4 bonus stats already on it, then every time you increase that card 3 levels, it's going to increase the stat, and you don't have to worry about wasting a increase to add another stat when all the stat, if you get one with all 4 stats already there. That's just a simple little way of determining which card you should go with once you have multiple of the same card. Okay, well, if you have one card that starts with 2, that's depending on what that stat is, then it probably might be more beneficial to go with a card that already has 4 bonus stats on it. So that way, when when you increase that card, it's going to be just all stats that are being increased when you increase that card to up to 15. So that's all right. That's on that part, dealing with the just covering this really brief. I'm not trying to get too deep into all. If there's any questions, we can kind of go back over it later. I'm just kind of giving a brief overview of what's going on with the Aegis. Now, what I'm doing daily to kind of get some materials, I want to say, to increase my Aegis, is here in the shop. Here you got the credit. Okay, this right here, you can get this daily. I buy that daily. All right, nice red there. Okay, get these 10 daily. All right, go to deal. I buy that daily, only 64. You can get 64 for free doing anything. That's nothing. Get that. All right, then I go over to the guild. I buy this one. So those are daily. So you can get those. Now that's a weekly one. I'll go ahead and get it. Okay, and I already bought the gold, because you can buy a gold one weekly. I already bought that, but that's another one. You can buy that one weekly. That one is daily. That one's daily. That one's weekly. All right. Okay, so that's pretty much it for your daily purchases. Now another thing you can get, once you hit 85, the arena goes away, because up to 85 you have the arena. So that goes away, and now you have this this daily event here. It's broken up. Every 4 days you have a promotion period. Every 4 days, you have a little, I want to say, cycle every 4 days where you can get promoted, and these are rewards. Okay, and something I just recently found out with this whole system here is, in your grouping, you're grouped with other characters of your class. So you're only, like, for me, I'm only grouped against mages. I'm a mage, so him was it Pyro Mage, Aqua. So if you see I can't see him. Okay, so as you see, with the people I can see here, they're all mages. So in your grouping, it's gonna be just only your class. You only grouped against other people in your class. So that's an interesting thing that I didn't really pay attention to before. And then also, so when you go in here on daily, you can kind of re-roll your reward a few times. And so I'll go with that one. And I went with auto because I want to show the increase that it did. Because normally my attack is 27. That's my normal attack. I'm in the fairy pit right now. I can hear it. So once, all right. Hopefully the fairy pit will get done, and okay. So now the attack from my Aegis is, you see the increase to my attack there with me being in the Aegis. So the Aegis is a great asset, great tool. You just got to take your time to level it up. You get your sync rate up. Alright. There it is. So you get that daily. You can do that daily. And so once you complete that, the floor opens up. We're right here, floor 5. So when you get to floor 5, this is the part where your points count towards the other group of people. You have different stats here that or give you points based off the difficulty that you're selecting. So if let's say, look at this. Let me go back here for a moment. Let's say like you see most people here are doing difficulty 5. If I was to complete difficulty 6, no matter how many points I received, I would automatically be put above those people who are difficulty 5. So the difficulty, that you can complete, it matters. It holds a lot of weight. So I mean, I'm not really concerned about it. The rewards are decent, so you get this daily as well once you complete that first run. Points to go towards the shop. But that's something to also remember. Let's say if you're looking at these numbers here, I'm seeing that everybody is, doing the guys doing a lot better than me at the moment. So all thing I could do is I could try difficulty 6. All I have to do is complete it. If I complete it, I'm instantly going to be put above the Killborn guy who's whatever. So just something to think about when you're doing the floor. Just the difficulty will put you above even people with higher points than you. But just because I did difficulty 6, I could have like 32,000 and still be above him with difficulty 5 at 36. But that's it. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to just kind of talk about it really quick.